This is Katie McConaughey from Learn Change. I've made 15 video clips about the mysteries of managing change. I'm in conversation with Chris Croft as part of a live LinkedIn broadcast that we did in January 2021.
So anyway, the first question I've got, Katie, is that there's obviously in any organization, there's loads of change, and the world, I mean, it's been particularly crazy over the last year, hasn't it? We've all had to adapt. And change just never seems to slow down. And obviously in England, we've got Brexit as well, just to keep ourselves entertained once COVID is gone. So, and every organization has got lots of managing change, and it always is done badly, isn't it? You know, if you ask anybody what's the worst thing that's going on in your company, there'll be some change that has been messed up and has gone wrong. And so why do you think it is, Katie, that we just are so bad at managing change? That's my first question for you.
And it's an excellent question, Chris. Thank you. So I think one of the reasons that change is often done badly in organizations is that people just don't understand that change management is actually a discipline, and it's all about the people side of change. So it's all about making sure when you're doing a project, we only do projects because we want something to be different and better, hopefully, at the end of it. So if you don't take care of the people side of change, often the return on investment, the new system doesn't get adopted and the process doesn't change. And that's because people don't really realize that you have to plan and think about the people side of change just as much as writing software and creating apps and all the wonderful digital technology and transformation programs that people are doing. So I think one of the things is that people don't necessarily realize that managing change is a process that really takes people from where they are today through a sort of transition phase to a different state. So somewhere new and different. And we're always trying to make the world better with that change. So it's I think a lack of understanding often that isn't understood, and also the capability. There's skills and tools and techniques that people can learn to be able to do change better in any organization. So if companies, there are companies who invest in that capability and those competencies so that they can do change better the next time, because it isn't easy. You know, we've seen how difficult change is through this last year. When we have to do it, it happens, but when we don't have to do it, there's often resistance. So I think that's my experience, Chris.
So it's difficult because there's almost always resistance, which we must look at again in a minute. Because why do people resist change?
Yeah, it's
but,
very big
but they do. And it's also difficult because there is actually a whole discipline to it, and we tend to assume it's common sense, don't we? We tend to think, well, you know, if you've got a Gantt chart and, you know, if you're a reasonable manager, surely that's all you need. Obviously, you do need a Gantt chart. Don't start me on those. But there's more to it than that, isn't there? There is actually a whole discipline which people assume is common sense and usually know nothing about. I mean, I've been a manager for years and I know nothing about managing change, really. And I've just sort of been making it up as I've gone along and assumed that that's all right.